Hey Carlo, are you a chunky monkey? People seem to think you're fat. You don't look fat. Or do you? Hey everybody, welcome to my channel and this video. My name is Brienne, you can also call me Owlco. And today in this video, as you can see by the title, we're gonna talk about chameleon obesity. Now, I actually just learned about this, so this is kind of be an interesting kind of video for me, and I guess it might be new for some chameleon owners out there as well. But I am in a lot of chameleon groups. I'm also a part of the chameleon forums community, and in one of these Facebook groups there was a person who commented on a picture of Carlo and it was literally like, your chameleon is obese and fat, so you should put him on a diet, ... And so I'm like replying back, okay, you know, like my chameleons, they puff up, they sometimes seem larger when you hold them, because obviously they don't like being held. And then they reply back, oh, like, why can't you see the signs? Like, he's obviously obese, like. And for me, I'm like, I didn't think my chameleon was fat or chunky or whatever, so it was kind of a surprise to me, and I was kind of confused. So I was like, okay, well, this is how I feed Carlo. I don't feed him every day, I feed him like every second day. He'll get crickets, maybe like anywhere between like 3 to 6 crickets one day, and then I'll skip a day, then I'll feed him superworms, then I'll skip a day, etc., etc. And then this person just like stopped replying to me, just like was kind of like not even trying to help me. And I was kind of confused, because I'm like, okay, well, if my chameleon is fat and you see a problem with that, why aren't you trying to give me advice to try and fix it? So I did what any curious chameleon owner would do, and I went on the Trusted Chameleon Forums page and I made a post. And it pretty much was a post saying, hey, this is what this person is saying. I want to know what everyone else's thoughts on there, because there's a lot of really good people and really knowledgeable people that are on the chameleon forums that, for myself, I trust in. And I got quite a lot of responses, which is really awesome, because that means it's a learning thing for me, and now I can teach other people. So let's kind of get right into it. And a lot of people who watch my channel, they've already chimed in on this conversation. And yes, we've already, what was said was said. So let's put it there. One of the things that I learned when creating this post was, obviously, like I've been saying, all chameleons are different. They don't eat the same, and so metabolism isn't the same as well. And so we kind of have to watch how our chameleons eat, how they digest their food, and maybe they're gaining, or maybe they're just retaining that fat when maybe some chameleons don't. I also kind of knew this already, but a lot of people recommend not to feed superworms as a staple diet, but kind of choose to feed their chameleons superworms as a snack. And I already kind of do that. So I will mainly feed my chameleon crickets, but then maybe like once a week or something, I will feed him some superworms, like 3 superworms. Now, apparently, I guess, like, superworms are really high in fat content, just like other worms that you can feed your chameleon. So I guess I'm gonna be cutting down on superworms for Carlo. I also learned too that the best way to tell if your chameleon is getting chunky or if he's a little bit overweight is through the casque, so on their head, as well as their base of their tail. And then once it starts to show in those areas, it can start to show in their legs or maybe possibly their body. It's also very hard to tell a chameleon if they're fat or obese from their body shape, just because they tend to inflate themselves and make themselves bigger, like if they were scared or if they're like want to seem threatening. So the best way to see if your chameleon is gaining weight is its casque, base of the tail, and then it might show in the rest of the body too, like the legs. And the best thing that people can do that I've learned is to try to put them on a diet. And it might kind of sound kind of silly, but a diet may maybe reduce the size, reduce the fat content in their body. And it was also kind of mentioned or put out there too that once a chameleon has a lot of fat in their cask, it's kind of more difficult to get rid of. And then people can try diets, but sometimes it may or may not work. All you can kind of do is just go forward from there and make sure you're not overfeeding your chameleon, which can be kind of tricky because I know, like me, I don't want my babies to starve, but at the same time, I still want them to be healthy and live a long reptile life. Okay, so now let's talk about diet. As I mentioned before, I feed Carlo about like 3 to 4 times a week, and I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm gonna probably cut down his feeding. Instead of 4 times a week, it's gonna go more so for 3 times a week, and his sugarworm and hornworm intake are gonna be cut drastically, and maybe I'll only start kind of giving him maybe 1 hornworm a week instead of like 3 or 4 that I kind of normally give, as well as mainly start to feed him obviously crickets. I always have fed him crickets, but feed him less large crickets. Some people have said too, instead of feeding them large crickets, like full-grown adult male-veiled chameleons, to feed them or to get small crickets and feed the small crickets maybe like, I think it was like 3 to 4, or no, 2 to 3 small crickets a day. And that's also a thing too, maybe I need to just stop buying large crickets and just next time when I go for a cricket haul, just buy small, go from there. And then maybe that way my crested gecko would actually want to eat the crickets too, because he doesn't like large. But yeah, so anyways, I hope this video kind of helped you learn something about obese chameleons, or like about diets for chameleons and what you can do, because I know for me that someone just tell me my chameleon's fat and then not really give me advice is kind of crappy on them and makes me like, okay, it kind of makes me kind of feel bad. I don't want to be belittled. I want to learn. I obviously didn't know that my chameleon getting fat is like a bad thing, because I know other reptiles, they store fat for certain reasons. So it's a learning thing for me, and I hope this video has helped you learn something too. If you did like this video though, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this video below so you don't miss any of my videos in the future about Carlo, my veiled chameleon, or my crested gecko warlord in the future. If you also have any questions about this, or if you want to chime in on the conversation, put it in the comments below. Other than that, until next time, bye!